Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday afternoon, June 29th, and we're looking at the market profile of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader. A lot to talk about. For a slow day, volume, let's get that off right off the bat. The volume was horrible. 73 million, we're averaging 108 million. So we're certainly going to do below average. But a couple of very big things occurred today or didn't occur today. Sellers. We are now one time framing down for 4 days. However, sellers had a chance with an inside week down, absolutely got rejected, spent about 5 seconds below last week's low. We came back. B period has a lowest accepted price, which is some powerful stuff, let me tell you, and we'll explain that in a minute. Got above, never saw the opening again. Now, I had a chance for a trend day up. I had 3 sets of single prints. They all got filled. The ES has a trend day up because theirs did not get filled in B. But I had a little freaky flush out at some point in D, which got me out of a long, actually. Left horrible structure. Never got repaired, by the way. And then we resumed our trading back up. We get a beautiful afternoon pullback low to the T, and we go out with a price probe also. The one negative is it's basically a P shape, excuse me, for short covering. So as weak as the sellers are, even though it's a trend day up, it ends as a P shape for the buyers. We fill in the SPY the single prints in the last second of the day from Friday. We take it back. ES did not. So just a lot going on with tomorrow being the last day of the month, the quarter. We have Powell speaking. I believe you have Mnuchin speaking tomorrow. So I believe him. So there's a lot going on. As far as my day, I ended up with a good day, even though I got taken out of that long. I took myself out of that long in D because of the poor structure. And I thought maybe they'd come back down. It never happened, but I got back into the game in E period, which got me back really good. And then I had some pretty nice trades, especially in M period on the long side. So A period, I took a short versus the inside week down. So by that I mean right before we took out Friday's low, took a short, took it out, got below it, not by a lot, believe me, not by a lot. And you could see that there was no tempo, there was no volume. So I took that off the table fairly quick, but it was still a winning trade. Then in B period, again, we opened, was below the opening, took a actually, I'm sorry. We opened. Now, here's the lap. A period closed at, let me get you an exact price because I want to explain this. A period closed at 300.59. B period opened at 300.58 and went to 57. Went down 2 pennies from A's low and then went up. That shows you that buyers are pretty powerful. A lot of times in B, you get the ebb and flow throughout A period. Well, I didn't even notice it at the time, and actually B went up, and I took a short below the opening, came back down, came within a tick or two of B. I got out of the position on the short, and I realized it basically then that we had the lowest accepted price. Didn't get long yet. Got long above the opening, and then once we started one time framing up, and that turned out to be a nice play on the long side. I took it off as we were approaching the afternoon rally high from Friday. Got long again in D. I apologize. I got long in C. At the trade, I'm trying to think if it held into D. I got long in C, yes. I got long in C. Every time it came down, I added, went back up, took off. The trade was working out nicely. I started it in D again because we had single prints. We actually had singles in D, but they got filled right away. But I was more than comfortable holding on to what I was until that freaky little flush that got right down, filled my singles, but never touched the opening, but had horrendous structure. Left about 8 price points that we didn't trade at. Now it went back up right away to basically where I wanted to add it actually, but I was like, I'm not adding, and then I actually took it off, and I lost money on the balance of that trade because remember, I had started it up here, and I was pretty ticked off. So what happens? E period starts. Can't even get back to B's range. Looked like it was going to pop. I took a size call play of about 200 before it did. Popped the top, took them off. I did that. Actually, I took 100 off, came back in, had the other 100. I didn't add, and then it stayed inside the range. I took the rest off for a nice trade. Now, I did nothing in F. F made a new high. G made a new high. Now I took a short at the end of G and in H. Thought maybe we would finally flush. Really didn't happen. G came down. The one I did in G came in, filled the singles because we had singles in F initially. That worked out. The one in H took out G's low by a couple of ticks. It stopped the one-time frame. I made a little bit, came back up. I took the rest off. I'm like, forget it. It's just not working. It did work, though, in J. We made the high of the day at the time in I. J couldn't take it out. I took a put position of about 50 contracts. It finally came down, finally got POC, got out of it. Now I'm looking for the afternoon pullback low. So I started a long position in K, added onto an L. It worked out very nice as I was looking for back to POC, so those worked out. For the ES, it's a textbook afternoon pullback low because their single prints held and you have an afternoon pullback low. Just like on Friday, afternoon rally high was textbook because we had the single prints. So 2 textbook days in a row, the way this market traded, especially today. And then, so that long worked out. And then in M, I took it a couple of times. It flushed out. I didn't have it at the end. I mean, literally the last 5 minutes of the day, this market just popped, and I wasn't involved in any of that. But 2 long plays earlier worked out very nice in M, and it turned out to be a nice day. P shape, yes. Horrible volume, yes. However, bears have had 4 days in a row where they've made new lows. They've had trend days down. They had an inside week down, and so far have gotten nothing out of it. All right, destinations for tomorrow. Upside will be today's high of 304.61. Then above that, we have a daily high of 307.64 and then a high of 310.51 and filling the gap at 311.61, 110-point gap from June 24th. For the downside, you have a lot of support here from today. First, we start with the price probe, right, which is I's high of 304.02. Then we have 9 wide at 303.27. And then we have the afternoon pullback low to lean on of 302.22. Then we have the lowest. Now, ES has the single prints. I don't, so I can't count them, but ES has their single prints. Then we have B's low, which is the lowest accepted price of 300.57, and today's low of 298.93. So barring anything coming out that's very negative on a tweet or a headline, I'll be quite honest with you, even though it was a P shape, I certainly wouldn't be surprised if this market stops the one-time framing down in the daily and tries to look above a couple of these daily highs. I really wouldn't be surprised if we take out today's high, the 26th high, and the 25th high. I really would not be surprised to see them try to push this up quarter end to end it, right? We're up about 15%. Let's go to the charts now. So let's go to the monthly. So the monthly, like I said, 1 day to go in the month, very much in range is 306.84. The bulls would love to close above that tomorrow, right? Above May's high. So is that doable? Absolutely. That's doable. Weekly. Again, we come out of an inside week to the downside. Now it's only 1 day. We have 3 days left to go in this week. We might take it out tomorrow and have an inside week down. Or we might get a rip-roaring rally and attempt to take out last week's high at some point. Who knows? But for right now, the sell has failed. You can call it balance to down. You can call it balance, whatever you want. The bottom line is we're in a 5-week balance, and so far, inside week down failed. 302.50. We got below it by a lot today, right? We trade our low today is 298.93. Over $3.50 we were into this range. And the sellers gave it all up. And then even on the daily, below the 200, almost tested the 50, gave it all up. The only thing they held was the one-time framing down. I'm not impressed by it. 1 day to go in the quarter, new money possibly coming in, right? for the first of the month. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if we take out at least 2 or 3 of these daily highs, including today, by Wednesday's close. I'm not calling the bull market, believe me. But what I'm calling is the sellers were so weak, even though it was a P shape today. I think they were so weak that barring anything very negative coming out tonight, or Powell saying something tomorrow. He's 12:30 tomorrow, I believe. So, again, they might wait for him to talk. So barring him saying anything really stupid, I could see these highs getting taken out. Anyway, we had a great day today in the trading room. Come check us out, CamelbackTrading.org. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.